Stander versus sit down. What's better? What do you think's better? Let's find out what I think's better. What's going on, Lawn Care Nation? Richie Plemons with Plemons Lawn and Landscape. Probably going to be a little bit windy out here today. We had rain roll through yesterday all day long, and today's kind of cool and windy. But I hope everybody's doing well. I know the coronavirus and the COVID-19 it's pretty serious, guys. A lot of guys are pretty stressed out right now on what to do. Wish you all the best of luck, praying for everybody, and just make sure you're taking care of yourself. If you guys are out working, make sure you're washing your hands, make sure you're keeping your distance. But today I want to talk about sit down versus stand on. A lot of you guys know that I run the Ferris Z3. A lot of people don't realize I have a zero turn, the Ferris ISX 3300. It's a 61-inch cut with a 37 horsepower Vanguard oil guard engine on it. Exact same engine on this machine is on my stand on, the Z3. It's got the 37 horse Vanguard, 61-inch cut as well. So what's the difference? What's the pros and cons of each, and which one do I like better? And let's compare the two and see the differences here. All right, so we'll start with the ISX 3300. I do have the collection system on right now. That's why I have the weights and everything, but you can take all this off. It's pretty simple to remove. It's not very difficult at all. As you can see, it's got the exact same engine on both machines. The Z3, both of them have the 37 horse Vanguard. All right, so when you look at these two machines, a lot of guys think, oh well, standing is you're gonna be tired at the end of the day, you're wore out. Well, not necessarily. When you're riding on a zero turn machine, as you can see, this machine does have a cushion seat. So you have the dial here, it's completely cushioned. You can and so you ride in comfort. As you can see, it works up and down. So it's a cushion seat. I mean, a lot of mowers come on it. Most mowers come with that now. The one thing about Ferris is you do get the full coilover shocks in the front and in the rear. Now these are adjustable. Use a spanner wrench right here. You can adjust it for a firmer or softer ride, whichever you prefer. I honestly prefer just leave it right about the middle part there, right in the center, and just kind of go with it. It's kind of a happy medium. And then on the stand-on machine, you don't get the front coilover shocks, but you do get the full pivoting front end, articulating front, and you do get the coilover in the platform. Now, with that being said, I do prefer the stand-on machine more than I prefer the zero turn, and here's why. When you stand back and you look at these two machines, you can see that not counting the collection system, you'll notice that the zero turn is longer. All right, they're the same width at the deck. So the deck is the exact same width. I believe let's see here, work around all the dirt. So you've got a 26-12-12 on the zero turn. You have a 24-12-12 on the stand on. So you do get a little bit smaller tire on the stand on as opposed to the zero turn. But if you noticed how much longer the zero turn is compared to the stand on machine, that means I can get this into a tighter place. I can turn this machine sideways on my trailer, which conserves more trailer space. And I want to say right around 70 to 71 inches long, where this is right around 84, right in there, 85. I mean, it's not exact measurements, just kind of guesstimating there. I run my measuring tape down through there and kind of guessed at it a little bit. It's not precise measurements, but it is about 14 inches longer with the zero turn. Now it does ride good. It rides comfortable. You could ride on it all day long. For me personally, I get bored. If I'm standing or if I'm sitting and just riding, I get bored, I get tired, get sleepy. When I get to a piece of trash, Now, a lot of guys, you know, guys who have employees especially, you notice when you get to a piece of trash, you've got you're riding along, you've got the lap bars down, you ride up on that trash. Most of the guys that have employees know that they just run it over. They'll just run over because you have to open the lap bar, you have to bring it to neutral, open the lap bar, put your e-brake on, step off the machine, and pick up the garbage. All right, so that took all of 7-8 seconds there. Now you have to get back on the machine, disengage the e-brake, pull your lap bars back down, engage the PTO, and go back to mowing. Whereas on the zero turn, you're riding along, you run up on a piece of trash, you don't have to, you're riding along, you run up on a piece of trash, you literally just let go and step off. The blades automatically disengage, the engine keeps running, you pick that piece of trash up, you walk back to the machine, step on, reach down, and just pop the switch and go right back to mowing. It's much quicker to jump off the stand on to grab debris or garbage that's in the lawn as opposed to the zero turn. Now I know it's already sounding like I'm all stand on, but the zero turn does have its advantages. And the one advantage I have learned, yes, standing, at the end of the day, I seem to have more energy from getting on and off the machine as opposed to getting on and off the zero turn, with both of them having the same. And here's the thing, they both have the same engine, they both have the same deck, both cut the same. This is longer, this is shorter, this is easier to get off of on the standard as opposed to the zero turn. Now, if you're mowing 5, 6, 7, 8 acres, I know you're standing, and as you're going over bumps, a lot of that energy is dispersed up through your legs. And what that does is you're bouncing all day. Guys who have knee problems, I've heard they don't really care much for the stand on as opposed to the guys that have back problems. I've noticed the guys that have back problems that prefer to stand, guys that have knee problems that prefer to sit. And the reason for that is when you're sitting on a machine all day and you're riding along and you're hitting bumps and bouncing, all of that energy is coming up through your butt and into your back. So your back is gonna hurt a little more on the zero turn as opposed to the stand on. But a pro to this is you can run this on large properties, large acreage. You can ride, a lot of guys, if you're not like me, which like I said, I get bored riding around just sitting, I just get bored. As opposed to standing where I feel like I'm doing something when I'm standing. I don't get sleepy because I'm standing up. The cut is great on both machines cut great. The advantage to the stand on as opposed to the zero turn is the price. Price wise, the stand on comes in somewhere around $2,000 or $3,000 cheaper. So if you can save a little money and go with a stand on, why not do it? So you save a little bit of money. Hill stability, that's another controversial thing, I guess you would say. A lot of people say, well, stand-ons can't stay on a hill. I've got videos of me putting a Z3 on some hills that, you know, obviously in the video I should not be putting a Z3 on that hill. Shouldn't be putting a stand-on period on that hill, but I've done it for demonstration purposes and showed that yes, that machine is capable of holding a hill. Now, does it rut a little bit? Yeah, it probably does. Does it slide? Yes, it does, but it stayed on the hill. That's what my video was about, was making sure it would stay on the hill. Like I said, me personally, yes, the stand-on is better than the zero turn. A lot of guys will probably disagree with me on that, but that's okay too. That's what's great about YouTube. You can disagree with me, leave a comment down below and say, hey, I don't agree, and this is why I don't agree. You guys will all know I reply to the comments, good or bad. I will hold a conversation with you, whether you like what I have to say or not. So that's the differences here. I mean, there's not a ton of difference other than you're sitting down and standing up. Same engine, same oil guard, same deck, same blades, same hydros. I mean, it's the same machine. One you just sit on, one you stand on. I prefer to stand. I have more energy at the end of the day. I can get in tighter places. I can get more of them on a trailer. So I save some space. We purchased this machine. Oh, there we go. There's something I almost forgot to talk about. This is the advantage to the zero turn collection. You get this large, you got the Turbo Max Pro or Turbo Pro Max collection system with easy dump from seat set up here. It's real simple. You just lift this up and you dump. So That's one thing you do get an advantage from a zero turn. You have the ability to collect, as opposed to this Ferris Z3 does not have a bagging system. Now, I have seen some standards out there. I believe Toro has one. I believe Skag may have one that you can stand on, and it's got a collection system. But here's my thing. I've noticed on a lot of the stand-ons, the collection system's actually on the side of the machine. And so basically what they have is a bagging system that sits kind of right here to the side. You sit kind of to the side of the machine. Now, I have seen the I think it's Red Magic or something that makes a bagging system that goes in behind the machine. But here's where I don't like that setup. I get in a bad spot with this machine. It's not like a zero turn where you have a ROPS or a rollover prevention system and a seat belt. I get in a bad spot and this machine starts to slide or wants to roll over on me. I have nowhere to go. There's, you know, you have the whole bagging system that's behind you here. You have nowhere to get off this machine. That's what's great about stand-ons. You get in a bad spot, you step off the machine, let the machine go. The machine can be replaced. You can't. So that's kind of my thing. If they have the bagging system behind you here, it kind of voids the idea of a safer platform that you can get off of, as opposed to something like this where you can just jump off. Now, I have seen Toro, I believe, has their setup on the side here, which is pretty cool. But if you do like me and you cut a lot of Bermuda, everybody has seen where Bermuda, if you get in a little bit of dip, you're going to leave a lower cut section on one side as opposed to the other. I feel like, now, this is what I feel like. This is not scientific proof or anything like that. As that bagger gets heavy, the machine is going to sit sideways. And so one side of the deck is going to cut lower than the other. You may not have quite an issue with fescue, the grasses like that you cut really high. You don't notice those quite as bad, but whereas you get into Bermuda and Georgia, you start to see the different cut marks. So it'll almost look like you've got one side cutting lower than the other. That would be my only I guess thought that would make me worry about putting a bagging system on a stand-on unit. Now, they do have the accelerator, which I do want an accelerator. I can put it on the side of the machine and run it on the side, no big deal. But that's just I got a grass flat. If I want to collect, I run my walker. I run a walker, and I don't know what it is since I've been running the walker. When it comes to collecting, they have a buzzer, an alarm that goes off. Why is it none of the other machines I've seen on the market? Me and Randy Haskell from Countryside were talking about this today. Why is it none of the other machines on the market have some sort of alarm system that beeps at you and lets you know, hey, your bagger's full, before this tube fills up and you have to take the tube off and clean it out every time you fill up a bag. So I think Toro has a pinwheel system, I think Randy was saying, that lets you know when it's full. Don't quote me on it. I don't really know. I've not run many other bagging systems. You guys could probably let me know down in the comments below what machines tell you if your bagging system's full. This has a clear tube, as you can see. You can't see my hand through it. It's dirty. So once you get dirt in it, it's pretty well useless at that point. You're not even going to be able to see if you're full or not. Not saying it's a bad machine. I love this machine. It's so comfortable. It's the most comfortable zero turn I've ever been on in my life. But I feel like I'm much more efficient, much faster on a stand-on machine as opposed to a zero turn. Honestly, it's just so much more efficient to me. A lot of guys, you know, like I said, are going to disagree and say, oh, zero turns are better, but that's fine too. You know, it may work for you. What works for you may not work for me. So what works for me may not work for you. So take this stuff with a grain of salt. But anyway, guys, that's the comparison between the stand-on and the zero turn, and stand-on wins in my book. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit that bell notification button. That way you know every time we post a new video, and we will see you in the next one.